So, as human beings, we have something very, very powerful within us that sometimes it could be a very great thing to help us have some of the great emotions that we like to have, like excitement, like happiness, like feeling good, joyful. But then the same thing could also bring some negative kind of experiences or emotions or feelings to our lives, like being stressed, being frustrated, being about to giving up on something. And what causes this pretty much is the human meaning making machine, which is something within all of us as that we have it. So most people are not aware of it, but more for majority of my life I wasn't aware of it, and we just think that what happens in the outside world, in the external world, was just like that was responsible for my feelings or emotions or everything that I was experiencing, either negative or positive. And years later, I'm hearing more about other people talking about this topic, which is that there's this thing between what happens in the outside of our kind of like environment or the external world, and between what we feel in the internal world, and what is in between these two things is this meaning making machine, which is what something happens here. We take that into this machine and then we attach a meaning to it based on maybe our experiences in the past or based on our current knowledge of that situation. And then we produce some sort of emotions. Now, again, like this could be positive, it could be negative. But what happens is that this machine, for most of us, we are not aware of its existence, or if we are, it's just it works so fast and so integrated into our lives that we don't even realize that it's there. So something happens there, it just goes immediately into the machine, a meaning is attached to it, and then boom, here on this side we have the emotion. And then what happens is we just look at the emotion, which is the output in our mind of the input of what's happening in the external world, and then we'll just be like, oh, okay, well then that was something bad, or that experience is always going to give me this emotion, so then I'm not gonna do it, like. So basically it could be, like I said, positive or negative. But if you're finding yourself in one of those moments where you're experiencing some sort of a negative emotion, then the root cause of that really is that meaning making machine. So the best thing to do is in that moment just to take, like just take a moment, literally just pause, and then just realize that what's the meaning you're attaching to this emotion. And then you'll find out, oh, okay, so maybe that's not really what is happening in the external world. That's just the meaning that you attach to it based on something that happened somewhere else in your life. And now you're experiencing this emotion. So that emotion by itself, it's not really exactly the reflection of what happened in the outside world. It always is a byproduct of what you think is happening outside mixed with the meanings that you're attaching to it, and then you produce that emotion. And so if it's a positive one, great, keep going, everything's fine. But if it happens to be a negative one, and if it's the one that makes you feel stressed especially, then just take pause and then look at it and say, okay, here's my emotion right here, and what kind of meaning did I give to this situation, so that you don't end up blaming the situation. Because the moment you blame the external world, you lose control, right? Because you're just saying that, all right, it's happening there and I have no control over it. And a lot of times you really don't, because you don't control the world, right? The universe is not owned by you, so things are always going to happen. But the one that you own is that meaning making machine. So if you really own it and you know how to control it, and don't allow it to generate those negative emotions for you, then you can be in charge of it and make sure that if that happens, then you just know that automatically you're not going to blame the external world, and then you're just going to know that, okay, it's a meaning I'm attaching to it, and if I don't like that meaning, I'm not going to do that. That's it. I'm just going to drop it. I'm going to look for a more meaning one or a more positive one, hopefully. So it's one of those things. Like I said, all my life, most of my life, I wasn't aware of it. So that's why I decided to shoot today's video, because if you are experiencing some of those, and you're just looking into the external world and blaming it, please stop and then just look at that meaning making machine and see what kind of meaning you're attaching to it, and then you'll be able to kind of handle those sort of situations a lot easier, and being actually able to turn things around. So If you like videos like this, that's what I'm doing. I'm on a 100-day challenge. Every day I produce a video on some topic that I'm hoping that at least one other person out there in the world might be able to leverage and apply to their life and take some action. So if that's you, please leave a comment. Let me know how you're gonna apply this and are you worried or not. And then if you enjoy more videos, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss tomorrow's videos. So my name is Pedram and have a beautiful day.